Okay. Hopefully I can get everything going. I'm gonna turn that off real quick. Ominous lighting is not welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am just pulling up my live and getting my notes real quick. That way I can have them side by side. I hope everyone is having a lovely evening so far. Hello, beautiful Sarah. Hello, Gina. Hello, Jody. My beautiful ladies, how are you doing tonight? I know, I finally got myself some blackout curtains because there have been times where I've wanted to do ancestor work and my room has just been too bright, so I got some blackout curtains, which are nice. It takes away the lighting and still gives me a little bit. All right, my lovelies. So this is a kind of a redo live. I don't know if you guys remember, but I had at one point in time a live similar to this, so I'm just kind of using those old notes and kind of getting into them a bit more. And then we are going to do a spell. And don't worry, this time I don't have to go to the kitchen, okay? I have a mini lighter. This time it won't be such a trying to get things to light. Because that was a huge issue last time, and I apologize still. But I have a lighter now. Alright, my lovelies. Alright, so hello again, everyone. Welcome. Today we're going to be exploring ways to connect with your ancestors. This is a journey that can honestly provide wisdom, guidance, and personal growth, as we all know. Before we begin, I want to emphasize that this is a general information live because of how broad everybody's ancestors and magic can be. So just keep that in mind, please. But again, everyone's ancestral work is unique, and what resonates for one person may differ to another. I highly encourage you dig into deeper into your lineage and discover what methods genuinely work for you. But let's get into it. So understanding your ancestors. Ancestral spirits, also called guides, are the spirits of the deceased relatives who continue to exist beyond the physical plane. They act as intermediaries, offering insight, wisdom, and guidance to those who seek connection. Engaging with your ancestors allows us to honor our own heritage. Recognizing and acknowledging the lineage fosters a sense of belonging and identity. We gain wisdom and guidance. Ancestors carry lived experiences and insights that can help navigate challenges in our own lives. It can even facilitate healing and transformation. Understanding the astral patterns and traumas can create pathways to, or not to, but for personal and generational healing as well. So I'm going to get into a bit of spicy knowledge, or better known as psychology. And this is where it kind of differs from the last time I touched on this subject. So psychological research actually supports the value of connecting with ancestors. The Jungian, I hope I'm saying that right, Carl Jung, you guys have heard me talk about him recently because I'm really interested in his work and how he does things, and it's really, really cool. But the Jungian theory frames ancestors as archetypical figures in a collective unconsciousness representing wisdom, memory, and family patterns. And those are actually written by Jung in 1969. But studies also show that reflecting on family history strengthens identity, resilience, and self-concept, which, if you guys are wanting to go deeper into the shamanism or the soul retrieval part of magic, this is your basic. This is where you want to start, because it helps just so much. That part right there is from Fivish and Sales from 2006. And additionally, trauma can also transmit generations via epigenetics, and psychological conditioning, highlighting and the relevance of ancestral work for healing. And that was by Yehuda and Lehnier back in 2018. So the main thing that I've noticed when it comes to wanting to work with your ancestors and things like that is fear. And it's overcoming fear and the mindset barriers that tend to kind of keep us in the same place when it comes to ancestry. And again, please correct me if I'm wrong. Because I want to hear what you guys think as well. So let me know. I promise, if we disagree, it's no sweat off my back, loves. But let me know. I'm really interested into how you guys think about this. Is fear the main factor of why you don't approach ancestry, or why you maybe have not? Just let me know. I'm interested. So many people fear connecting with ancestors due to the societal stigma or religious conditioning of it. Fear may arise also from historical suppression of ancestral practice, and them being labeled as dangerous or as irrational. Internalized beliefs associating with ancestral work with superstition or mental instability. This is a big one. The reason why I think it's so big is because whenever I have, well, not so much now, but whenever I did start first going into ancestry work and I would talk out loud to my ancestor spirits, my grandma would look at me so fucking wild. And she'd be like, "Who are you talking to?" And I'm like, "No one." But like, that's what I mean. Like, people will look at you crazy and think you're mentally unstable for talking to the dead, but I don't see it that way anymore. And neither does she. I actually got her on the train to go to my picture of my mamotra y papa grande, or my great grandfather and grandmother, and talk to their picture. So we're getting there. But I think that's a big one too. Sorry, I kind of got off rails. Gina says, "You know I have zero fear and work with my ancestors on the daily." I'm getting there. I am there. I'm there now. I was not quite a few years ago. But also another one is personal hesitations, specifically around confronting grief, family trauma, or even unresolved lineage patterns that keep popping up can be another of those mindset barriers and fear. Some key points to overcome fear that I think are really, really important. Hello, Olivia. How are you, beautiful? Is that we need to examine the internalized narratives. And what I mean by that is we need to start reflecting on societal, familial, and even religious messages that discouraged that ancestral engagement. Because if you guys have noticed in my lives recently, I'm all about working through things. And I think it is a huge, important part of witchcraft, because if you cannot work through something, how can you move past it? How can you move through it? And how can you become stronger for it? Does that make sense? But if you think about it that way, it kind of becomes a bit easier. Also, set clear boundaries. Define which ancestral spirits you intend to engage with or for, and what purpose. It could be your great-grandfather. It could be your cousin. It could be your sibling. It could be your friend. It could be anybody. It really, again, it defines which ancestral spirits you intend to engage with and for what purpose. Invoke protection. This is a big one, and I'm pretty sure Miss Gina can agree with me. Invoking protection from your ancestors is the biggest and most heaviest type of protection that I've come in contact with. Because it uses mental frameworks or even symbolic markers to create a safe space for your spiritual environment. And it's either my deities, or it's my ancestors, or it's the spirit of my dragons, or even my kitsune. Those are the biggest and heaviest protections, energy-wise, I'll put it that way, energy-wise, that I have come in contact with. So yeah. Does anyone have any questions so far? This one may be a bit short, only because I can't exactly get into specifics without going into my ancestry. How could I put this? Without going into my specific ancestry and telling you exactly how I practice. But I wanted to keep it generalized because everyone's different. Olivia, yes, that is such a beautiful question. I would consider them ancestors. Mainly because, sorry, this is kind of a tough subject to talk about right now. Because they were there. They watched you grow. They loved you just the same. They protected you in their own small little ways. I absolutely believe that pets can be ancestors too. Because in my family, all pets are family. Doesn't matter how short or how long they've been with us, they are family. And I honor all of my pets who have passed, especially recently. And I know they're still watching. Oh my god, I'm sorry, ladies. But yes, they can be. Gina says, yeah, your family is going to also back you up better than just spirits you are friendly with due to the spiritual and familial ties. I could not have said it better. It's okay, Bluff. Crap, I forgot where it was on my notes. I'm so sorry, guys. Yes. I got it. Approach with respect. Engage with sincerity and intention rather than fear or coercion. So, scientific research actually underscores the importance of intention and cognitive framing. Approaching spiritual work with respect, clarity, and reflection actually improves both psychological outcomes and emotional resilience. So, as always, I encourage you guys to approach any subject with respect, even in the slightest. Methods of engagement. So, as we all know, there are multiple ways to honor and connect with ancestors, ranging from complex practices to symbolic acts to the simplest of lighting a candle. Quiet meditation is a huge one because it can cause reflection. So quiet meditation or reflection allows for intuitive engagement with ancestral spirits By focusing inward and cultivating stillness, individuals may feel guidance, recall familial patterns, or sense the presence of their ancestors in a state. Studies have even shown that meditation strengthens self-awareness, emotional regulation, and insight, all of which are helpful for processing intergenerational influence. And that is actually, I can't quite remember if it was from a book or article, but it is by Davidson and McEwen. I want to say it's McEwen. McEwen, and that was published in 2012. 2012. Oh my god, not 2012. Jeez. Gina says, our grief is a reflection of our love and our bond with them. And it really is. It really is. Another big one that you can connect with your ancestors. This is huge in my family because of Dia de los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead. But storytelling and oral histories. Listening to and recording family stories preserves memory and reinforces continuity across generations. Or, like my family likes to say, your family doesn't die until you forget them. They're never really gone unless they're forgotten. And it's something that has kept me wanting to learn more about, like, beyond what I already do. And I've found out quite a lot. Especially with family on my mother's side being a part of a couple revolutions, actually. From the Revolution of Mexico to running with outlaws. Like, it's crazy. But it's been something that I actually look forward to and speaking to my great-grandmother about. It's such a beautiful way to learn what you don't. But oral histories also provide insight into values, challenges you may face, or even resilience patterns. Research indicates that storytelling strengthens identity cohesion, self-esteem, and intergenerational bonds as well. Then you have the genealogical research. This is tracing your lineage through documentation, records, or DNA research deepens understanding of your ancestry. This exploration contextualizes inherited patterns and behaviors, offering perspective on the life decisions that they may have done, or even personal challenges that they may have faced while they were alive. Next is symbolic acts and altars. Of course, this one is a huge one. I have an ofrenda that I've been working on for a little bit, and now I have to get another shelf for my ofrenda because this year, I'm expanding on all of my family that have passed. So I'm gonna have like a huge ancestor altar because I'm not gonna lie, there's so damn many of us. But symbolic engagement, such as creating an ancestral altar, lighting candles, offering favorite items, or journaling memories, can actually help you focus attention and intention on that connection. So cognitive psychology suggests that symbolic acts strengthen memory, emotional solace, and meaning making. I know I keep putting in spicy knowledge, but it's so cool how much witchcraft ties into psychology. Like, certain parts of witchcraft. Like, it's wild. And I love it. And that's why I keep including it. But let me guys know, if you don't want to hear, psychology part in witchcraft learning, I can take it out. I just find it really cool of how much it actually ties in. The fifth one is celebrations and personal rituals. So this is acknowledging birthdays, anniversaries, or even significant family events. with simple acts like lighting a candle or preparing a favorite meal. Again, this is kind of touching base on what I do, but I know very many witches who do this too, so it's not just, it's a common ground. But preparing a favorite meal is what I have come to learn is the strongest offering that my family loves. They love when I make con arroz leche. They love when I make chilequiles or enchiladas or tacos or sopa de arroz, or, you know, just food in general. That is my strongest offering to my ancestors. I mean, I make oils and things like that for them too, and they love it, but I really feel like a heavy presence whenever I do food, because my family, I'm not gonna lie, we're a bunch of foodies, okay? Sorry, I got off topic again. But such practices emphasizes intention and care rather than ritual complexity. Next up, we have healing and transformation. Connecting with your ancestors can be a profound path to healing. Because one, it lets us have awareness of patterns and recognizing intergenerational behaviors or inherited trauma helps illuminate challenges and strengths. Processing ancestral trauma. Trauma can influence descendants emotionally, psychologically, and even biologically. That is from Kellerman back in 2001. Engaging with ancestors facilitates understanding and integration of these patterns as well. Of course, reflective journaling practices and meditation and contemplation support emotional processing and cognitive integration, allowing ancestral lessons to inform personal growth. Then you have nurturing those connections. I'm glad, love. If you ever hear me say something wrong about psychology, please correct me. I want to know more. But anyway, nurturing connections. Maintaining a connection with ancestors involves continuous reflection and engagement. Storytelling and knowledge sharing, of course, preserve and communicate ancestral narratives to future generations. Life lessons and reflection. Analyze those ancestral decisions, especially if you have the actual story. And it's not quite oral. Because it can show you like a paper trail, if you will. The paper trail of those struggles and successes for guidance. Use it for guidance. And of course, documentation and journaling. Record insights, reflections, and symbolic interactions to maintain clarity and continuity in your practice as well. So, in conclusion to all of this, again, I'm sorry, I did say it was going to be brief. But connecting with ancestors is a holistic practice, bringing the psychological, spiritual, and informational. By overcoming your fear and reflecting on your lineage, engaging in meditation and symbolic practices, and processing the intergenerational patterns, individuals can cultivate meaningful and understanding of their ancestries. This process not only enhances personal insight and resilience, but also preserves the wisdom and experiences of past generations for our future ones. Gina says, depending on what theory and which theorist either support or disagrees with the others, it's more of what info aligns with which theory and theorist. And that is correct. I have come across a lot of condescending things. All right, my lovelies, are we ready? I'm ready. Are you guys ready? So if you guys did not see the post, I asked that you bring one white candle. This candle represents purity, spiritual connection, and protection. A small piece of paper and pen, which I'm always stocked on paper. And plus, that's really neat that I picked this one because it gives such fall vibes. Plus, because I'm at my desk, I always have pens. Matches or lighter and a small bowl of salt water. You could just do salt or you can just do water. It really, sorry. It really just depends on like what you want to do. So you could either do a salt circle. I'm doing salt water in my sake dish. So it just depends on you. First, you're going to set your space. You are going to find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. And if you like, you can sprinkle a little salt or keep, again, a small bowl of water nearby for spiritual protection. Me, I'm doing salt water because to me, it's more powerful that way. So, I swirl it with my finger a couple times, then I will draw the pentagram in and circle once more and tap my finger. That's how I like to do things. Then you're going to center yourself, sit comfortably, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and focus on your intention. The intention tonight being to honor and connect with your ancestors. I've already done this part. I did this part before I did the live. That way I was already ready. But that is what we're doing. So if you are like me and you're already feeling like you are ready for this, or, you know, something of the sort, we are going to light our candle. You can say this out loud or silently in your mind. I am in a very protected space because I have my deities around me. I have my ancestors around me. I know they're here. But that is why I'm so comfortable speaking aloud, because I know there are no trickster spirits right now. Or at least there better not be, because I haven't picked up on them. But as you light the candle, say aloud, I light this candle in honor to my ancestors, to welcome their wisdom, guidance, and protection. I light this candle to honor my ancestors, to welcome their wisdom, guidance, and protection. I honor this candle to light my ancestors, to welcome their wisdom, guidance, and protection. You can say it once or you can say it 3 times. I always do everything in 3s. So then you're going to call on your ancestors. Now this is where it gets really, really fun. Okay. I'm going to move my candle. But notice how steady the flame is. I hope you guys can see it better. Notice how it's not jumping. See, that's how I know the difference between my ancestors and which deities are doing what. All by watching the candle flame. I'm weird. I'm sorry. Thank you, beautiful. So we are going to call onto our ancestors. If you are using paper, you can write down the names of ancestors you wish to honor, or a simple note of gratitude. I'm writing So I am actually writing, I am grateful to my ancestors for providing me with protection and wisdom. But again, you can write what you feel is right. If you have a specific ancestor you want to reach out to, or if you're like me and there's so many of us, you can do a simple note of gratitude. Whatever feels right for you. I am going to fold it to myself 3 times because they're my ancestors. I am connecting with them. I want their energy. Then we are going to sit, no, we're not yet. Hold it in your hands and visualize them around you, sending love and appreciation. I already feel them. My ancestors are very warm, and they tend to let me smell cinnamon, the spice of cinnamon. It's very funny how spirits work. And the more I dig into it, the crazier part becomes, especially with smells. Again, you can meditate or reflect. Sit quietly for a few minutes if you need to feel the presence of your ancestors, sending them love and acknowledging their guidance and their sacrifices. You may see images, you may feel emotions, or if you're like me, you smell cinnamon. Or you simply feel a sense of calm and connection. It just depends on you, and it depends on the ancestors. When you are ready, notice I said when you are ready, blow out the candle and imagine the smoke carrying your gratitude to your ancestors. You can keep the paper somewhere safe or dispose of it. I'm going to burn it. The reason why is because I feel it reaches them much better this way, along with me speaking it aloud. You know, like the saying goes, say it louder for the ones in the back. That's what this paper's gonna do. Or you can keep it on your ancestor altar. It is all up to you. I made this spell so breathable to work in and out of and change if you so need it to be. Optional enhancements that I like to do is I will repeat this on significant dates like birthdays or anniversaries, but I really like to do it every full moon. Or you can use a small bell or gentle chime to call in your ancestors before lighting the candle. On my door to my bedroom, I actually have a pentagram chime that rings every time I open that door. So it helps. So I'm going to go ahead and burn this. I also like to watch the smoke for very specific reasons. Not just because I'm a weirdo, I promise. And then, fireproof dish. And once that fully burns out, it goes out on its own. And as you can see, the smoke is very clear. It's not going too crazy. And that's how I know my message was received right. Now, if the smoke was black or going in every direction, then I knew my spell was not received properly. It was not done properly. Or something got in. That's one way that I interpret it. Now I'm going to crush this up. This is just an extra measure I do. You do not have to do this. I'm going to crush this up and sprinkle the ash on my ofrenda, or my altar. Plus, look at how happy this little flame is, guys. Look at that. It's nice and steady and happy. Only jumping a little bit. What do you guys think? How do you feel? I feel a hell of a lot better. I think that is what I've needed after everything that I have gone through these past few weeks. I feel light and airy. What about you guys? As you guys type, I'm just playing in the ash, essentially. I'm just getting it to go down. Aw, thank you, love. I know it's a super simple spell, and I know a lot of people like to do complex things for their ancestors, but sometimes there's a beauty in the simplicity. I probably sound crazy for that. Alright, my lovelies. Oh, thank you, Jody. Alright, my loves. I'm going to let you go. I am going to go live and woe after this. So, stay tuned. Bless be, ladies, and good night.